Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, neighbors upset they get tickets for too many RVs. Entitled employee tries to trick me into signing up for a store credit card. A customer was looking for foreskin? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Neighbors upset they get tickets for too many RVs. I have had the same neighbors since I bought my house years ago. We started having issues ever since they had their dog pooing in my yard and refused to do anything about it until I started returning it to them. The poop stopped, but I then became the boogeyman for anything unfortunate that happens to them. They also hate that I park a car in front of my house. I got tired of them working on cars in my front yard, kinda crappy every time I walk out my front door and there's a bunch of strangers there, as they have no space left on their property and spill out in front of multiple houses in the neighborhood. Someone shoots their trucks with a pellet gun, must be me. It's been one thing after another, especially since they run an illegal mechanics shop out of their garage in a suburban neighborhood. Yesterday, parking enforcement pulled up in front of my house. I thought it was for the car I keep parked on front of my house. It's totally legal, registered, insured, parked a legal distance from the mailbox. Anyway, the enforcement lady just walks over to their house and starts writing rockets for their 3 RVs. Neighbor goes ballistic as it's his house, and he can do whatever he wants. And what about that car on the street next door that he's been calling about for months? It was at this point I chimed in, "You've got bigger problems than me, 'cause I didn't call you moron," at which point he screams whatever and just gets in his truck, diesel, that leaves the huge clouds of smoke to be cool, and just peels out. Nice to know that I'm not the only person who's had enough of the late night boat work and frame welding in the hood. Cool typo. Starts writing rockets. Followed by neighbor goes ballistic. Please don't edit, it's perfect. It's his house, and he can do whatever he wants. Sounds correct. This is why I have 3 horses and a few sheep corralled on the front yard of my suburban home. Oh wait. I don't have any of those because of zoning laws. Entitled employee tries to trick me into signing up for a store credit card. This happened a while ago, but it was just so baffling I had to share it. A while ago, I went to a big department store to buy some home items as we just moved in. While we were waiting in line, it was not a long line, we were next, an employee notices us and tells us he will check us out. We follow him to a different register all the way across the store. It is obvious he wants to check us out because he saw our expensive items and wanted to get himself credit for our large purchase. But no biggie, get that bag, king. Anyways, while checking out, he asks us if we want to join the store membership for a discount. I say no, he says, "We just need your email, you will get a large discount." I say as long as all you need is an email, and it's not a credit card or something, sure. He just nods his head. I give him my email, but then he keeps asking for more info. I get suspicious. I notice him taking out a credit card, and I reiterate, "I do not want a credit card." He says, "No, it's worth it, I promise." At this point I'm annoyed and say, "You know what, you can refund everything." And he apologizes and says, "Okay, no worries, you don't want a credit card, we don't need to sign you up for a credit card." Everything is fine and dandy, and I noticed when I get home and check my email that he still signed me up for a membership. Which, again, is fine, but it's crazy he just tried to force us into a credit card we didn't need when there was a membership this whole time. Edit, this guy wasn't just pushy, he was actively signing me up for a card while trying to hide the fact that he was signing me up for a credit card. That's fraud. I get that they need to sign up so many per day/week, but no need to be pushy or sly about it. I was at a store where the cashier remained lovely the whole time, even as she rolled her eyes at the end and said, "I am really sorry to do this, but they make us ask everyone if they want to sign up for our card. If I don't ask, it negatively impacts my performance review. So I just have to ask. You don't need to sign up." I had a cashier once offer me the card, and when I said no, she said, "Are you sure?" It's 0% interest? I asked her if it was a special promo or what. She leans in like it's a secret and says, well, it's 0% if you pay it off in full every month. Well, duh, but we all know very few people do that. Makes me wonder how many people she tricked into getting a card that way. A customer was looking for foreskin? I used to work in a natural food store that contained a fairly large supplements section. At the time of this event, I'm not sure if I was an assistant department manager or managing the adjacent department, but that hardly mattered as customers would generally lock onto me as the first person they saw not shackled to a register. I knew where almost everything was in the store, so as long as I wasn't facing a deadline on my own, it wasn't really an issue. In walks this lady. She was clearly in a hurry as she breezed into the store, purse on her elbow and cell phone in hand, eyes already scanning the shelves. I greeted her and asked her if I could help her find something today. Foreskin, she snipped at me. Excuse me, what was that again? I stuttered, thinking I had just misheard her. Foreskin, I'm looking for foreskin, the lady restated, a little more forcefully and slightly louder this time. At this point, the other customers nearest to us had turned their heads and were blushing or looking incredulous. Oh, were you looking for forskolin? I probed, thinking maybe that was it and she was mispronouncing it since it was a newer supplement at the time. It's an extract of Coleus forskolii? No, it's foreskin. Foreskin. Now she was getting kinda loud. More heads turning. I'm starting to feel somewhat exposed since I hate being stared at. If I had a choice at this point, I would have just walked away. Do you know what it's used for? I continued, hoping to diffuse the situation and quiet her down. Is it a skin health supplement? For skin? How do you spell it? It's foreskin. 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 At this point, she was panting and angrily shaking, glaring at me with her free hand clenched into a fist. I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't think we have that one, I said, hoping she would leave. The woman huffed angrily, turned on her heel, and stomped off into the supplement shelves to look for herself. I believe she spent about 10 more minutes or so angrily flouncing around the department before leaving. A little bit of patience and bothering to meet someone in the middle for what you need can go a long way, but I guess she was way too important for that kind of peasant mouth blathering. I never did figure out what she meant by foreskin. Since that time, this event has become an inside joke between my partner and I, leading to us occasionally cornering the other and yelling, "Show me your foreskin." Where's the foreskin? Not in public, of course, lol. I would have told her to contact a rabbi. IKR? It sounds like a bad Tom Swiftie. I want to see your foreskin, she said blissfully. OMG, that made me laugh so hard. The look on her face when someone finally explained it to her must have been a picture. My granny said my wee cousin was getting a VD player for Christmas, lol. I had to explain what it was before she would believe me, lol. It was a DVD player. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.